interesting thing about this is everything is occurring backwards with this character, but it's not shot in a way to change it backwards. It's actually the talent moving backwards. It's not them shooting it regularly, moving it back in the first. And then you start to realize, oh, he's the only person that is moving backwards. Everyone else is moving normally. You see him walking the dog is walking forward, he's walking backwards. Definitely allowed for moments of physical comedy, like when Tree hits him in the head, there's certain aspects that you can't see. His mirrored glasses are knocked off his face, things like that. Or when he's speaking to others and his back is turned. It's like he's committed his life to being backwards. And it's quite a commitment. And then he finds someone who's made the same commitment, and then meeting, it makes everything backwards turn the right way again. And they kind of have this moment where they collide, and from there, it's like they turn around and it's like, oh, I'm supposed to move this way. And I don't know if it's seeing someone else doing the same thing that makes it kind of seem as ridiculous as it is. But it seemed like their meeting was the motivation. But I also thought, like, okay, what if there's a romantic thing between these two? If they're always walking backwards, how would they ever find themselves to each other? So I thought that as well. Or maybe as a motivation. So yeah.
Backwards. This was really cool. I really liked the story. I thought that it was so much fun to watch. The actor did a great job. He made this very natural, very believable, walking backwards. And, it just seemed that he'd been doing this all his life. So kudos to that. I loved all of the cinematography, especially how they added in this old footage of the kite flying and things like that. That added a whole nother layer to it, which was really cool. I loved the music and the transitions that they did. There was one transition in the beginning that it just seemed a little bit abrupt, but all of the other ones were absolutely spot on, and they were very smooth and seamless. So great job.
Backwards is really clever and really inventive. I think the idea of someone like going about their life entirely backwards is hilarious. But at the same time, it also conveys an underlying sense of sadness really well. You kind of get that right from the off. Even before you get to the kite stuff, you can still feel that subtle underlayer of sadness, which I think is deftly, sensitively handled. I love the way that it's like not afraid to kind of get a little bit slapstick with it as well, and explore the kind of comic difficulties of living backwards, which are really, really entertaining. And then that moment where you meet the other person sort of trying to live their life backwards like that actually hits really hard emotionally. That sense of connection and shared sadness, and it's weird because it has a great sense of sadness to it, but when they meet, that's a real burst of joy. So I think it brings together some disparate emotions very seamlessly, and it's just sweet and charming and moving.
Backwards, great concept. Very interesting to see this guy that just keeps working backwards. That's also the title. And then we see obviously this guy's memories from the past, in the beginning, and then in the end. He seems to feel outside of the world, and I mean the main character feels like something is wrong with him. He doesn't fit into society, and probably that's why he just does everything backwards, because he's scared to look in front of him. He looks behind him because he's too scared to look what's in front. I mean, and also the connection with the past is like the main idea is the main character is not strong enough. I mean, is not brave enough to look towards the future. He keeps just looking towards the past, and then in the end he finds this woman that does the same, and then boom, here's the spark, and finally he starts working normal and looking in front of him, looking ahead instead of looking backwards. So I think it was a super powerful concept, beautiful music, and great performances, and absolutely beautiful direction and cinematography. So overall, great short. Congratulations.
This ship is for backwards. They pose a very unique premise, an interesting approach. I think the message is cute and positive, with lovely old footage with kids flying a kite. That is a perfect compliment, by the way. Um, Kite collector that learns to live normally again. It is deep and unpretentious. I enjoyed it a lot.
I felt as if I was watching an old family video about a family playing with a kite as we exited this dream world. The focal point of the bed being this kite. In fact, kites are all over this house, and it isn't until our lead takes his dog for a walk that I fully realize that he is not wearing this like technological Google Glasses device, but in fact they are mirrors, and he actually walks backwards. So we follow him on this journey to collect nothing other than another kite. There's a strong connection between this character and his connection that he seems to be having with kites. He runs into another woman, literally, by walking backwards at the park, and she is also walking backwards as well. So she falls and he catches her, and it's a meet cute. And then we are kind of cut back to the film that we began with, this family video. And after they meet and they cross paths, they begin to be able to have this ability to then walk forward again. And it kind of represents as if meeting this person has sort have made him realign in life, right? That's sort of what I picked up from watching this short.